Hello, everyone. I am here for our Momentum Monday moment. And the phrase I want you to remember this week is you need both. You need both. If both feels better for you, use both. But just remember you need both. You need to watch and pray. You need faith and works. You need rest and grit in order to move ahead, in order to make progress, in order to continue on your journey successfully. We have a tendency as human beings to be extremists sometimes. Some of us more than others lean towards the extremist position, meaning we know we need both or multiple things, but we usually tend to lean more towards one than the other. And at the end of the day, sometimes that's okay because there's not always going to be a complete balance. But let us not forget the most needful thing in all of it. All of the works in the world may not open particular doors. We need faith. We need guidance from God. We need prayer. We need to seek God on how to do things. We need to seek God on having the right attitude towards things. We need to seek God on making sure that we don't allow things to become more important than Him. Making sure we don't neglect our relationship with God. And when it comes to rest and grit, we need both. We can find ourselves in those times where we just are on autopilot and we're just working so hard that we don't realize that actually getting some rest is going to push this thing forward more quickly. We will be able to think better, to process, to problem solve when we get sufficient rest. And there are times when that grit is an absolute necessity. If we can push through in the moments where it is necessary to do that, and then rest without guilt and get good quality rest, it's going to be a sustainable formula. Another one is watch as well as pray. We live in a world that you just can't walk around spiritually blind and continue to thrive. We just can't do it. So we do have to have our spiritual eyes open, and obviously our natural eyes as well. We have to be watching, paying attention. But let's make sure that we aren't watching so much that we become paranoid, or that we aren't watching so much that we become distracted by what we see. Let's make sure we are watching in the right direction, but let us not forsake the prayer, the time in the presence of God, the time seeking God through His words. There's a particular heart posture that comes with depending on God and seeking God. Another thing that I heard that really encouraged me, that comes up in my mind right now, is the fact that, God doesn't always do things the same way in every situation. He might do the same thing a different way. And so let us not be so busy working and having our strategies and our plans and our goals and our spreadsheets that, we projected this, that, and the third, to the point where we don't realize that God can come back around and do something a totally different way if that is what He wants to do. So, yes, we need to be strategic. Yes, we need to be consistent. Yes, we need to be intentional. But let us not forsake prayer, and let us not presume that God will move in a particular way. We know that everything He does it well. We know that He has good plans for us. We know that the order of God is not always the order of mankind when it comes to how things will play out. But we do know that God operates in a particular way when it comes to His integrity. He does not allow His word to come back void. So if we're seeking Him, we're going to know how to maneuver. We might not always know exactly what to do in every situation right away, but we can rest assured if we will consult with Him, if we will operate in faith and continue to increase in faith, He will give us the direction that we need, and that things will come together in time. All right, so be encouraged. All things considered, you need both of them. You need to watch and pray. You need faith and works, and you need rest and grit. And may I remind you that you can find everything you need for life in godliness in Christ. If you are walking His way and you are determined to live a life that will be pleasing to Him, you will find grace, you will find forgiveness, you will find strength, you will find direction. It does not mean that you will not ever experience trouble, but what it does mean is that you can have peace. That is what we are promised in the Word of God.